And welcome to Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd. The Unity in the Community show embraces the city versus diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. And joining us on the Unity in the Community is someone who's very well known in the city of Worcester, actually throughout the state of Massachusetts, where she's empowering her legacy with leaders, Latino entrepreneurs, and the likes. And when it comes to the businesses here in the city of Worcester, there's no one other that leads that charge. Her name is Elizabeth Cruz, and she's the president of LABO, Latin American Business Organization, which is very noble of you. And I know it's not very easy when you're running an ethnic organization. It's very well needed. It's important, but it's not very easy to run.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been a while since I've been here.
I know. Where have you been?
Thank you. So yes, I've been very busy, but yes, it's not easy, especially with the political climate today.
Yeah, especially with that. And we're going to get right into that. But those who may not know who Elizabeth Cruz is, which I find it hard to believe, if you must be under a rock if you don't know who you are. But just to say, who is Elizabeth Cruz and how did you get started prior to LABO and a little bit of your background?
Sure. So I'm the president of the Latin American Business Organization. I've been the president for 4 years. Prior to that, I was a software engineer consultant. I had my own IT consultant company as well as real estate. I do commercial real estate. And I was basically thinking about for the last 30 years, because when I went to college, I was the only female Latina in the class. So I felt like there was a need for Latinas to be represented in science, computer science. So I ended up doing a mentoring girls to get into computer science, and this was about 30 years ago. Yeah. And so all along, I've been trying to find a platform for women to really, really support each other, talk about the different issues, obstacles that we have, really lift one another up, but most importantly, open the door for others, because we tend to close the door when we're at a certain level. We're like, we don't have the time. We've been there, we've done that. So I formed EJA, which stands for Empowering Latina Leaders Affirmation, about 3 years ago. But that was about 30 years in the making. And that talks about leadership, mentorship, entrepreneurship, and what have you. So I've been in the community working with the city of Worcester since 30 years ago. In fact, I was a board member at the YWCA. That's how I got started in community services.
So why is it important for you to lead this charge? As I mentioned earlier, it's very well needed. It's important. And you have to have, I would say, a special type of energy to lead a group of people, especially, like you mentioned, during this climate as well. But prior to this climate, there's been some challenges as well. And you are the second president to LABO?
Yes.
In a sense?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and tell us a little bit about the prior LABO president and how LABO got started.
Yes, so the LABO organization was founded by Efrain Medina and Jose Rentas, and also the Expo was really founded by Jesus Suarez. And so back then, 2015, they created the first Expo, and it was more for profit, really a platform needed for Latinos to really have a platform to show the businesses that support one another. So it's going to be 11 years since they originally started that. And the idea was to really be more like a BNI, but that didn't work. And then in order for us to be part of 11 Latin countries, LABO needed to be a nonprofit organization. So they kind of shifted from for-profit expo to nonprofit. And that's when we started giving classes. Started giving how to start your business back in 2020, I want to say, at the Worcester House of Correction. And then, the prior president, Jose Rentas, was really passionate about that program. And so that was initiated, and that's how everything evolved. From that day on, we started offering more programs. I became president, and now we offer over 12 different programs.
You mentioned briefly the Expo, and we're going to get into the details of that a little bit later on. Just for now, let's talk about the Expo. You have an Expo coming up again. What year is this at the Expo, and where's the location?
It's we've been doing it for the last 7 years that I remember at the DCU Center. And it's
Congratulations.
April 25th. It's Saturday from 12 to 4. And this will be 11 years of impact, but during the pandemic, we didn't have,
Yeah, of
we
course.
could not offer expo.
What can people expect at the expo when it comes to the Latin American Business Organization? You're leading this expo. It's all yours. You have the whole floor, and you have other businesses coming in, and you're going to accomplish what?
The whole goal is really just to have a platform for all Latino businesses. And not only that, we have BIPOC, we have banks, we have mainstream businesses, but we want to, have a place where a lot of the public, the community can go and meet all the different entrepreneurs and small businesses in Worcester. But most importantly, it's about supporting one another. And for those that are vendors and sponsors, we have a program from 10 to 12 that the public doesn't see. And just within that room itself, we have 200 to 300 people that we really don't need to open the doors to the public. But what we end up doing is from 12 to 4, we open it to the public, but it's very cultural. We, Latinos, we love music, food, and networking. So it is really a vibrant environment for Latinos, and a lot of people, non-Latinos that go, they love it.
Mm-hmm. Since you've been with LABO, as you're the second president, joining us is Elizabeth Cruz. She's the president of LABO, Latin American Business Organization. You listen to Unity Radio. I'm Ernie Floyd, and this is Unity in the Community. What have you noticed that kind of stands out? When you start something initially, you have this idea in reference to what you want to do, where you want to go, and who you wish to support. You've been doing this for a while, for the last several years. You must have noticed some changes, some increase, some decrease in some type of genre, somehow, some way, in reference to how you're leading this organization. What stands out the most when you first started and where you are today?
What we noticed was, there's a lot of programs out there that tells you how to start your business, but it goes beyond that. You take 7 to 14 weeks and then you're stuck. Like, did you really need to open the LLC? You're not even producing income. So what we try to do is we do a business formation where we say, you don't need to open an LLC right away until you make money, unless you want to pay $520 every year and you want to do all this report. But what I noticed is that Latinos have in their DNA entrepreneurship. So they get money, they're like, I'm going to start a business, and they go for it. Doesn't matter the recession, if it's a depression, they open it. And so we're trying to say, slow down. Let's make sure you have the right tool, that you have the right market, you're in the right location, that you have a business plan, and that you know your numbers and you have a pitch. So LABO is all about that. But LABO has developed into a full, business development center where not only do we offer classes, but we do coaching. We offer anything we meet them where they are. We have businesses that are just starting. We have businesses that have been around for 20-something years. And believe it or not, we have businesses walking in that never even register with the city.
Yeah, I find it interesting was the fact that we all have ideas to some capacity. We feel as though that mom has that special cake or that special pie, or dad has that special project of some type of sort. And we always believe that it could be a business, and we think that other people will enjoy it too as well. And then it becomes just a thought initially. But you're saying with the Latin American organization or committee or community at this fact, they believe in an idea and they just go for it. So that must help you initially because of the fact that they're ready to get out the door. But at the same time, as you just mentioned, you got to reel them back in, create some structure, create some organization, and then slow them down to make sure that they do the proper etiquette as far as running an organization, because just as fast as they get out the gate, it can be just as fast. They could be closing next week.
Exactly. And we, unfortunately, we have businesses coming in, especially restaurants. One of the services that we offer in LABO is hospitality. So we have an amazing instructor who is certifying everything that you can do, from creating the ingredients about a product to selling the product wholesale to getting serve safe. So what we find a lot of restaurants is they sign a contract without knowing what triple net is, and they go in without even knowing all the inspections that are required. By the time they get to open or even get inspected, 6-7 months into it, and they really have no funds. Then they believe they can go to city or somewhere and get money, and you can't. There's a lot of the lack of capital is one of the issues for small businesses. You have to be around for so many years and also get consistent revenue every month. So we're trying to, like, before you go under, we want to make sure that you're ready and that you be successful. And that is our goal.
So it goes back to that idea. They're ready to get up the gate, they're ready to go forward, but then they don't have enough money to float themselves, because then they have these unexpected expenses that may pop up. As you just mentioned, the permits, they also have these different applications they have to apply to meet and exceed to operate legally their business. And they don't take that into consideration. They think they could just open the door. And don't forget, you have to have first, last, and security as far as rent goes. Then there might be a little bit of shape up of that facility. And then just running the business itself, it comes with requirements too as well, as far as the lighting, comes with the food and everything that comes with it, which you already know. And so when you're sharing this with somebody who's excited about starting their own business, what happens afterwards? Are they still excited? And they say, okay, regardless, we're going to go through it. Or they say, you know something, it seems as though it was a good idea, but you know something, I'm going to hold off for right now.
What we find is that they realize it's a lot of work. You wear a lot of different hats, and you have to be consistent.
Sure.
And, if you have a restaurant, you have to be open, whatever hours you say. And it's really a lot about, are you passionate about cooking? Because you need to be, right? And so it's a matter of, do you have the right partner? Do you have the right agreement? In case the other partner says, this is too much for me, you can still be operational. But more so nowadays, we want to make sure that they protect it in case they get retained. Who has access to the account? Is the business still going to be operational? And so, we find that a lot of do not have a plan B.
Yeah. And why is that? Would you say for a fact that they get excited, they have this idea, they want to go out, and you find that it's mostly restaurants, mostly food is the category that people get excited about when it comes to that Latino community. It's not real estate per se or any other type of category, but it seems as though food seems to be something that they like to share. And why is that, would you say?
I think food is the most expensive because of the build out, right? A kitchen can cost you $60,000 to $80,000
easily,
and depending on where you are, in what city you're in. And so that process, the fire department may come and say, no, these stores are not fireproof, right? So now you have to go back. So it depends on many different things, and it depends on the inspection. But most importantly, they don't believe, they don't understand that you would need money for the build out. And a lot of times too is that there are some grants that the city gives for those that are starting businesses, opening their first business, and for equipment and stuff.
So what comes first, the cart or the horse kind of situation, right? That's what they find out really fast. And that's why they're fortunate to have you come in and explain that and walk them through that, and also champion the fact that, okay, you're familiar with the code department, you're familiar with the fire department, you're familiar with the city of Worcester, and they respect you and they respect LABO. So they at least have some type of hand up when they start this process, if they have this ongoing thought and reference to pursuing whatever they wish to pursue. So Elizabeth Cruz is joining us. I'm Ernie Floyd. You listen to Unity in the Community. We're going to continue this discussion. LABO is offering this exciting event that's coming up on April 25th, 12 to 4. It's going to be held at the DCU Center right here in the city of Worcester. We're going to talk more about that. But most importantly, we're going to talk more about LABO in itself. If you want to start a business and you have an idea, this is probably the place to be. So come back with us here on Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hey, this is Ricky Duran, and you're listening to Unity Radio on 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
How's business?
Good. Are you up to speed with the new beneficial ownership reporting requirements?
Sort of. What's it about?
It's a new initiative to help fight crimes like money laundering, fraud, and drug trafficking. A lot of small businesses like ours just have to report some basic info to the federal government about the real people behind them.
Reporting your company's beneficial ownership information is quick, secure, and free, and it helps protect U.S. national security. Learn more at fincen.gov/BOI.
Hi, I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guest as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Looking for a meaningful way to engage with members of your community and make a difference? Volunteer with the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program and help prevent Medicare fraud. SMP volunteers work in their community, educating their peers about how to prevent, detect, and report healthcare errors, fraud, and abuse. Visit our volunteer open house at masmp.org. Join our team and help us fight fraud. Together, we can make a difference. This project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Hey, what's up, Worcester? This is Jacqueline Carr, and I'm inviting you to be inspired with me every Sunday starting at 6 a.m. with the Jacqueline Carr Show on Unity Radio. I'll get you going with a motivating word, special guest, the absolute best music, and a few other surprises. But you gotta tune in on Sundays at Unity Radio to find out. It's Jacqueline Carr, and the Jacqueline Carr Show is happening Sundays from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on Unity Radio 97.9. Worcester's Community Connection, and also streaming on WUTY.org.
This is Unity Radio 97.9 Worcester.
And once again, welcome back to Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd. The Unity in the Community show embraces the city Worcester's diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. And joining us as the president of LABO, Latin American Business Organization, that's taking place right here in the city of Worcester, is Elizabeth Cruz. And Elizabeth, welcome back to Unity in the Community. You have something special coming up, April 25th. Once again, it's a Saturday, 12 to 4. You invite everyone in the community to come down because there's always something special when it comes to the expo at the DCU Center. So tell us a little bit more about what people should expect on this special event.
Sure. Everybody's welcome. It's not just for Latinos.
Of course.
It's free. We have different prizes from $2,000 travel voucher to 55-inch TV. We're giving free haircuts to kids. We have a kids corner activity. We also have a 360 photo booth. We also have different prizes coming along, but most importantly, we have, the entertainment, live entertainment, getting to know our businesses. And we have some elected officials that would be joining us. They don't want me to say it yet, but we have, community leaders there. But what we expect is for them to just feel that culturally expo that we always give with music. And sometimes people that are not Latinos come in like, the music's too loud, how can you do business? But that's the way our culture is, right? But nevertheless, we respect that, and it's open to everyone. And we're gonna have this year part of the youth program that we offer, which the acronym is YELL. It stands for Youth Empowered to Lead and Launch. We're gonna have 6 or 7, probably 8 students, high school students there selling their own products. So we're excited about that because in the morning we're going to have the graduation, and then they join us for the expo.
Yeah, and that's really important to go to the expo. Do you have an annual meeting at the end of the year, or is the expo is kind of like your celebration in a sense as far as
we do have an annual meeting?
But the expo is really important to you because of everything you just said, because of the fact that it's a celebration. Also, it's informative. And at the same time, it's something whereas people that may be interested in joining LABO and maybe if they're having thoughts of starting their own business. So LABO is the place to be, right?
Exactly. And one of the things that I want to mention is this year we have an annual meeting that we award, the best business, the member of the year, and what have you. We also award our youth entrepreneur future leader. But this year for the expo, we're going to be giving for the first time an award to Senator Robin Kennedy for her community impact and her support in entrepreneurship. So that'll be the first for this year where we would recognize someone in the community.
Yeah, Robin Kennedy is very well known in the city of Worcester, and all I hear is nothing but good things about her, which is refreshing comparison to all the other stuff that we hear when it comes to our government and political officials. Going back to LABO, Latin American Business Organization, once again, Elizabeth Cruz, the president, is joining me on Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd. So let's do this dissecting, if you will, of LABO. When you have programs, comprehensive business training, coaching, mentorship, development programs designed to help Latino, and BIPOC entrepreneurs thrive. You have a number of different venture startups here. You have venture startup, venture growth, and also you have a pathway to becoming bankable. Tell us about that. Let's start with venture startup. What does that mean?
So venture startup, for those that have an idea, or many ideas, and want to start a business. So we walk them through the whole process of, what's the difference between marketing plan versus marketing strategy? What is your customer persona? What is your unique value proposition? And so we teach them the whole process of how to start a business.
And you offer this in English and Spanish?
Yes, and Portuguese.
In Portuguese, okay. Venture growth, what does that mean?
Venture growth is when you already have a business or you have an idea, but you want to jump on, you have other resources, you just need to jump start on it. So it's about expanding your business, making it sustainable, understanding what items you're missing, what you have to revise on your business plan, and so on.
Okay, so the venture startup is something that you want to become. The venture growth is something that you already are. And then you have what they call the pathway to becoming bankable. And they both work with the venture startup and the venture growth. And how does that work?
Correct. In both the venture startup and venture growth, we have a segment called bankable. So we felt like we need to take a deeper dive into that to understand what that means. And we take a sort of a fresh look at everything from trademarks, copyrights, to your business plan, to your value proposition, to your numbers, knowing your numbers. It doesn't matter if you have a great pitch and you go to school for that, but if someone is talking to you about your numbers, how many empanadas you need to sell to pay your rent, and you don't know those numbers, then you lost that deal. So we teach them how to know their numbers, how to really make sure that they evaluate the accounting system and financials to make sure they're in the right path.
Kind of like the language. I'm a fan of Shark Tank, and they sit there and they talk about, someone comes up and says, I want 150,000 and I'm offering 150,000 or 200,000 and for 5%. And they start throwing these numbers all around. Oh, so you're evaluating your business at what, 1 million and 2 million? You got to know your numbers and be able to talk that talk with the banks and that nature, right?
Exactly. And, and again, if you can master your pitch, you can have a great business plan, but when it comes to your numbers, you can't elaborate on that. It's not a good thing.
So speaking of numbers, you have numbers yourself for the organization, okay? Let's talk about that. Our numbers at a glance as of December 2024. You have these metrics that represent the tangible impact LABO has made when it comes to empowering Latino entrepreneurs and strengthening our community. You have XY numbers for entrepreneurs, you have XY numbers for certifications earned, and active members. So let's start with the entrepreneurs. How did you grow that? What did you start with, and how did you grow that?
We started with 40, 50, and we have over 2,000 in our database. And so what we kind of did when I took over was let's get the system in place. Let's get this going. Not so much about let's get all these members. And so now we're at a good point where we have every year over 400 people join our programs. Then we have hundreds of people join our events. So our database, we have on one 1,500 and about 2,000 in the other. So we have close to 5,000. So what we're trying to do is sort of come up with a business directory that we're working on the new website, where we want to make sure all of them are connected, especially if they're supplier diversity certified. And if they're applying for bids, they can all work together and apply for that bid. So the entrepreneurships, we started with 29, 30, 60. Now we're in the thousands. However, paid members, we're in the hundreds. And again, our focus was not on that. Now that we have a website, as you can see, and now we're capturing the data. Now we are focusing on building that paid membership.
Well, data is really important, not only just for the businesses, but data is important for your organization as well, because then at the same time, for you to be marketable, to get the big picture for other people to fund you, they want to know who you're serving and how you're serving and where they're coming from. And that's pretty impressive that you have over 360 entrepreneurs, as you mentioned, in thousands, comprehensive business development programs as well. And then the certifications come into as well. You're proud about those certifications. Tell us some of those certifications that you offer and or that you are awarding.
Sure. When we started looking into supply diversity for business owned, women business owned, Worcester had around 30 something. And we were like, that number's so low, considering there's a lot of, BIPOC businesses. So we focus on that, and granted, Biden administration wanted to focus on that. The governor wanted to focus on that. And we have up to this point over 30 something already certified. So we had an event, we had over 65 people coming in. We helped them get the $5,000 grant from the city of Worcester for those that were certified. So we really believe that you're leaving money on the table if you do not get certified.
Right. So certification could be serve safe. It could be CPR. It could be something as a supply diversity, which is really important,
Vendor,
right?
yep.
And people don't know that the city offers an opportunity to go to them and be on their list as far as offering supplies, because the city will buy from you. And some people may not know that. They think that, okay, I just got to hang around for a grant. But no, you could be a supplier to the city as well.
Exactly.
You also have active members. That's growing, community of Latino entrepreneurs. And you're right, the population itself is growing as well as the opportunity. Whereas you're just hitting it just right, because you said you started being the president several years ago. And you see there's an uptick, there's an increase as far as the population, and as far as that helps you, because then those numbers come in your favor, because those individuals as well may want to start a business. You have another category, events annually, networking, training, and community events. The Business Expo is an example, right? Let's talk about that once again, April 25th. And what should people expect between 12 and 4 at the DCU Center, downtown Worcester?
But I mean, we expect them to walk in and really see all the businesses in Worcester. We have a lot of businesses coming from outside of Worcester because they want to be part of it. A lot of people are trying to get into Worcester market, as you know, but we expect them to really get to know the businesses that are in Worcester, what's there to offer, get to know the community, and also really enjoy the day with their family. It's, like I said, we have kid-friendly activities as well as prizes, so you don't want to miss that.
Well, you also have capital and contract access, direct economic impact for our members, and you also have community members through expo and cultural events, and you kind of combine that as well, even though they have two separate categories. But there's a combination there. You have over 300,000 when it comes to capital and contract access. You also have over 2,500 when it comes to community members. As we mentioned, it's growing, it's increasing. And why do you find people attractive to come to Worcester of all places? No disrespect, but we're saying Worcester, even though it's the second largest city in the Commonwealth. And that's great that they want to come here. And it's great that they want to talk to you. And that's a tribute to your hard work and your respect that comes from the community.
So, you know, I'm well known across the state, Western Mass, Boston. Everywhere I go, I talk about Worcester. In fact, they nickname me in some places in Boston as the mayor of Worcester. And some people believe and they come, oh, you're the mayor of Worcester. I'm like, no, wait a minute. Don't get me in trouble with Joe Petty. But no, I think it's just really promoting Worcester and putting Worcester on the map, letting them know that we have a great, economic prosperity going on here. And as you know, Latinos are the fastest growing entrepreneurs starting their businesses. So we just trying to just support each other. There's almost more than a million Latinos in Massachusetts. So there's no reason why we should not succeed if we support one another.
You cross promote between Worcester, and you are very heavily well known in Boston too as well. So you have the largest city of Massachusetts, and you also have the second largest city in Massachusetts. I'm gonna leave you with this thought here as we go and take a pause here. Is mayor idea maybe in the future potentially or something like that? You ever thought about in the back of your mind? Because that'll be interesting. The real test would be not only that you supported this group, this Latino group and everyone else, but will they support you back if you thought of maybe running for mayor? What's your thoughts out loud in reference to that?
To be honest with you,
yeah, please.
I've had people call me, say, I would support you. You don't have to worry about the money. I got a pack going for you. I have the community always saying, you know what, you should run for office just right off the bat.
Right.
And I feel that, it's not on my radar screen, so don't get nervous. But I feel that a lot of people ask me to run for office, whether it's mayor, city, or whatever. But and it's constantly. In fact, I had a meeting with a couple people from the Hispanic, Latino donors, whatever, saying, we really like you to consider it. And I'm like, no. Yeah. Not now.
It's a different wherewithal when it becomes the mayor, because you really have to give it yourself. There's so many different celebratory events that you have to attend and stand there and cut the ribbon and say hello to the people, and you have to kiss babies and everything else that's out there. And will that take away from what your essence is about reference to supporting the Latino American organizations here?
Yeah, I feel that I can be more of an advocate behind the scenes of doing what I'm doing now than to run for office, because we have so many regulations and stuff you can do. I would love, behind the scenes, I support all these elected officials that are doing a great job. I don't think I would consider it. I mean, I've been approached many times, Boston here, and but I don't believe that's on my radar. But I feel that it's a lot of work. I see Joe Petty all the time to have ribbons and events, and I don't know how he does it. I'm busy, but I have no idea how he does it or anybody else.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of doing it, but you're just not being holding to the city and the city's charter. Okay. Joining us is Elizabeth Cruz. She's the president of LABO, Latin American Business Organization, and I'm Ernie Floyd, and you're listening to Unity in the Community. And we're going to come back and continue our discussion about the Latin American Business Expo that's going to be coming up at the DCU Center, April 25th, right here on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Unity Radio. Worcester, we've got you.
Support for Unity Radio 97.9 FM is provided by United Way of Central Mass, aiming to improve the community and break the cycle of poverty, and the Wusaks Foundation, seeking to make dreams come true for families in areas of education, social justice, recreation, and conquering cancer. Unity Radio, Worcester's Community Connection.
Tune into The Sustaining Life with Susan Hewlett, and together we will find our way to a healthier, healing lifestyle by listening to empowering stories of overcoming our struggles. Join me, Susan Hewlett, on The Sustaining Life every Wednesday from 5 to 6 on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. See you soon.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section and after Dad's back injury. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Trouble with opioids can start at home with unused medicines, such as pills, patches, and syrups. You can remove the risk and protect your family. Find out how at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Hi, I'm Siobhan Myers, your host on Talking Wellness, presented by the Kiva Centers on Unity Radio 97.9 FM. As a licensed mental health professional and leader in the field, I believe every story matters and healing starts with being heard. Whether you're navigating life's challenges or lifting others through theirs, I'm here to explore the paths of mental health, recovery, and wholeness. Tune into Talking Wellness on Unity Radio 97.9 FM every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for honest conversation and inspiration. This program is sponsored by the Kiva Centers, a statewide leader in peer-led support and recovery services. From Worcester to Western Mass, Kiva is lighting the way forward. Talking Wellness, every voice, every journey. Speak up, be heard, and of course, be well.
You're listening to Unity 97.9 FM, WUTY. Let's talk, Worcester.
And once again, welcome back to Unity in the Community. I'm Ernie Floyd, and joining me now, as I consider my friend, is Elizabeth Cruz. She's the president of LABO, Latin American Business Organization. She's taken us inside the organization, giving us some update. She frequently visited Unity Radio in the past, and we haven't crossed paths in a while. And she's back fresh and new with new ideas, new events, new activities, and the organization obviously has grown tremendously. So we talked about the programs. We talked about the LABO impact. You have events coming up, obviously the Business Expo. You have some new member of the month. Tell us about how you celebrate those members as far as the event, members of the month and other different categories when it comes to LABO and those members.
So, one of the things that we're lacking is really just putting the member of the month out there more than we should. But we value anyone who is really out there helping, taking advantage of all the programs that we do. So member of the month, you have to be consistently like trying to improve yourself and really take advantage of all these free courses we offer, and also advocate for entrepreneurship and helping others as well. So it's a combination of engagement, community effort, and also really taking that step to learn and make it better for yourself and the community.
Yeah. So when you go out to get those sponsors, here's the nature of some of the sponsors that you have. You can name them if you like, or just the nature of the background of the sponsors that believe in LABO, the Latin American Business Organization.
So we're very fortunate to have a lot of sponsors that really believe in our mission, help us further our mission. One of the top two that's always there for us is Unibank and also Fidelity Bank. And we also have Bay State. We have Cornerstone is always there for us. And we have others, Savers. But we do have a lot of sponsors that are really very supportive.
Yeah. And I guess you're proud of your board members. Tell us the nature of the board members that come on board with you to help support this mission, because obviously you can't do it by yourself.
Exactly. Our board, they need to be passionate about helping. Also entrepreneurs, understanding that, this is really an area that we need to support our community and be able to show up for them. And so one of our staff members, the only staff member, she's like really passionate about LABO. She's out there. She's making sure that everybody knows about LABO. And so as a board member, I expect them to be committed to really advocate to help, because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about LABO. It's about helping the community. And so it is, a disgrace if we don't tell the community what we have to offer. And if others don't tell the community what they're missing, right? You're not really doing a service to our community entrepreneurs.
Yeah. And LABO's not all just about business as well. You're about having some fun too, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So that's where the Polar Park comes in to play. At Polar Park, Polar Park is obviously the baseball team facility, actually, that's right here in the city of Worcester. And when you have the Woo Sox here in town, and you have a very popular franchise organization of that nature, you have something special carved into their schedule as well. And tell us about those special events that take place during the season.
Sure. Since they came to Worcester, we've been doing 8 games out of the year where we celebrate the 20 Latin countries and Spain. And basically the idea is really to embrace, because the majority of Latinos love baseball. And so we want to really provide a positive experience to the Woo Sox fan, but also educate them and share with them our culture, our music, our anthem. We also identify hometown hero, nonprofit organizations. So it's really exciting because I love baseball. And so to be able to share that with the Woo Sox fan is amazing. And the support we've been getting, plus they've been winning some awards because of our efforts and what they've been doing to the community.
It really contributes to their portfolio as far as them complying to be in the diversity category, right? And so when you approach Dr. Charles Steinberg in reference to incorporating this plan, what did he say immediately?
And, I want to say they've been listening, because day one, I approached Joe Bradley and I said, Worcester's a different animal. And it is. That's my word.
Okay.
You have to do certain things, certain ways. You have to involve the community. We have to have a seat at the table. And that's how we came up with the advisory committee. But I want to say that one of the things I neglected to say is that one of our top sponsor is the Woo Sox in everything that we do, because they believe in us. But more importantly, we have a great partnership in sense of, making sure that we bring people to the ballpark, that we tell people about the Whip Us, and that we celebrate our culture with them.
And what a way to support the players too, because they do have a diverse group of people that come from all around the world. Okay, they come here. And so, they come here, they practice, they train, and then they're playing the game. But what happens after the game? They like to, this be a perfect opportunity for LABO to connect with the players, make them feel home and welcome with the hospitality as well, and participate maybe in some of the events. Because while you're here, you don't want to be a player just going to training, going to practice, playing the game, coming home and just sitting in your residence. Okay, you want to get at least acclimated with the community and get associated with your country or your culture, and that's where you come in.
Exactly. One of the other things we do with the WUSACs is we have a table where we bring a business every time we have a game, plus we have the Taste of Worcester. So we encourage some of our members to be part of that. And so it's really a great event overall. And a lot of the staff always say, I'm looking forward to the whip us. So it's really excited. We just did the first kickoff, the first season of the Whip Up game Friday, which was fireworks with Bad Bunny's music in the background. It was awesome.
And I'm pretty sure the players really appreciate you guys coming through there as well, because they want their food. You know, there's only so much fried dough and hot dogs you can eat, and they want their culture, they want their food. So I'm pretty sure if you walk up to them and say, hey, we're here to support you. And I'm pretty sure they talk to Dr. Charles Steinberg and say, hey, look, I want that Weber group back. I want that LABO group back because of the fact that they're serving my cuisine and my food. Also, you come up with something. You have Ella Poderosa, and you wrote a song. Where did you find time to do that besides in entrepreneurship, supporting everybody else? And you finally took time out for yourself. And you have this book right here, and you have a number of people in the background as well. So please pronounce it.
Ella Poderosa.
Okay, and what's the nature of the book?
So Ella stands for Empowering Latina Leaders Affirmation, and it's an organization, a 501c3 nonprofit that I formed. I'm the president. We have great board members, and basically it's a platform for Latinas to really just evolve, help each other, support leadership, mentorship, what have you. So I'm always writing poems, and the way I release my stress is writing poems. And so I wrote a poem, and we were trying to look for a song, an anthem song for Aja. And every time I presented it to the board, they didn't like it. So I ended up saying, I posted my poem, someone liked it. And so I'm like, hey, let me turn this into lyrics. And Dominic Malta, which is here, he is a good friend, international star. And so I called him and I said, hey, I just turned one of my poems into a song, and are you willing to sing it? And Reina Sin Corona was born, and so it's on all platforms. And he just didn't want it for Asia. He wanted it for the world to know, and right now it's all over the world. And Russia even did a song with that, one of TikTok.
Well, I see his picture here, and it seems as though that he's going to perform it at the expo.
Yeah, he performed last year.
Okay, so the expo, once again, is at the DCU Center. It's April 25th, 12 to 4. A lot of different things are going to take place at the expo, and there's always something special, always something new there as well. And this is one of the opportunities you have, especially the Latino audience, the Hispanic audience, the Portuguese audience, and the list goes on, is when it comes to culture here in the city of Worcester, it may not always be on an everyday basis, but when you're able to capture it and get everybody together, the expo is where it's at. And also you have a number of different people who are supporting it in the background here as well, and it's great to have support. And you're doing an incredible job, as well needed. And it seems as though I might have to challenge the men, because of the fact that there's not a lot of men organizations that lead in this type of nature here in the city of Worcester, unless you want to tell me differently.
There's a need for it, so maybe you should start one.
There you go.
Because they do ask me.
Okay, thank you. We're going to a break right now, so I'm just kidding. And maybe we should start one. But just the same, Elizabeth Cruz is joining us here. She's the president of LABO, and we have an exciting conversation about what goes inside LABO and how you can benefit by being a part of LABO right here on Unity Radio. So we're going to come back and continue our discussion right here on Unity in the Community, on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.
Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. What's up, Worcester? I'm Angela Gray, and you're listening to Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection. When I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time. Are you ready?
Hi, I'm Gary. And I'm Steve. And we're the hosts of Cannabis 101 on Unity Radio 97.9 FM.
Join us and our guests on Thursdays at 3 p.m. as we discuss the cannabis industry in Central Mass with energy, excitement, and passion.
We both take pride in providing you important information about the rapid growing cannabis industry. Support for Cannabis 101 is provided by Cannabis of Worcester on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
Hi, I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show on Unity Radio 97.9. Join me and my guest as we discuss topics on embracing our diverse cultural communities, the music, the arts, and healthy lifestyles. I'm Ernie Floyd, host of the Unity in the Community Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems. Learn more at talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Hello, I'm Pastor Sharon Henderson of Covenant St. Andrew's United Methodist Church, 24 Hamilton Street, Worcester, Mass. We welcome you to worship with us every Sunday at 10 a.m. Let's worship together and love one another. I'm Sharon Henderson, pastor of Covenant St. Andrew's United Methodist Church, 24 Hamilton Street. We welcome you to worship with us at 10 a.m. every Sunday. Let's do it together and let's make peace.
What's up, Central Mass? This is Angelo Gray, and we want to thank you for all your support. And you're listening to Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
And once again, welcome back to Unity in the Community. And we're discussing and having this conversation about LABO, Latin American Business Organization. Once again, there's an expo taking place April 25th. You are not going to want to miss it. It's on the Saturday, 12 to 4, at our DCU Center right here in the city of Worcester. And Elizabeth Cruz is joining me. She's the president of LABO, and we're having this great discussion how the growth of LABO, and you really kind of took the helm after the first president, and you really made it your own and made it the community as well. So we have Aja Poderosa. We talked about that earlier, but you also have something that's really dear to you that I didn't know in reference to when it comes to fashion. Tell us about that, how you have that passion about fashion.
So before going into computer science, I wanted to go to college for fashion design.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a seamstress, so I used to sew since I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did all my window treatments, everything when I first got my first home. And after that, I'm like, it's too much work for me. But nevertheless, yes, we Aja has colors that we use, which is black and red.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's favorite colors, and those are Spaniel colors. So when we have the Aja Poderosa Summit, we always tell folks to dress to impress, and they all come in dressed in black or red. And one of the annual big events that we have for Aja Poderosa is the Leadership Summit, which is on March. We also got the mayor to give us a declaration to make March 8th the Aja Poderosa Day. So
Nice.
we're excited about that in Worcester. But most importantly, the reason why I formed Aja was because back in 2020, 2019, there was a magazine that listed 22 powerful women leaders, but non-Latinas. And I'm like, no. We have a lot of Latinas leaders out there that needs to be recognized.
Of course.
And so that's how I ended up creating this table for Latinas. But every year we nominate 12 Latina leaders that are making an impact, whether it is behind the scenes or on the front, and we want to recognize them for their impact. So it's something that we do. Hopefully, who knows, maybe in the future we'll have a magazine that would provide this type of recognition to our community, because the lack of disparity is the reason why I created Aja, is the reason why we need LABO to be able to speak to them about different programs and trainings and leadership opportunities in the native language.
Well, it's about exposure, and it's about recognizing and letting people know what's going on. Because if you don't let them know, and if they don't know, they're going to talk about somebody else, basically. But due to the fact that you make yourself present, you make the organization present, and also the people present, they cannot forget you, and they cannot recognize you. And so that forces that situation. So is that where that brunch came from?
Yes.
You had it in the mechanics hall. I
Yeah.
saw that a while ago, and I saw this exquisite, all these dresses, and everyone was dressed, to impress. And so maybe that might lead into a fashion show. If we had this dream wish, if you will, for a fashion show, and we had it held here, how would you hold that fashion show with your seamstress experience and your goals and ambitions, and when it comes to fashion?
So yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about for the longest. Was going to do it starting with the youth, right? Getting them into home economics and learning how to sew and what have you. But yeah, fashion show would be great. And one of the things that we've been talking about, we had one of the events for Asia was quinceañera. And we had some quinceañera dress as that, and we put the mother and the daughter on the hot seat. So we've been, contemplating between quinceañera to having a fashion show to having a fashion show with different themes. So that is in the works. That's something that I'm very passionate about. As you know, I wanted to go to school for fashion design, and I was going to go to Bay Path from Southbridge High to take fashion design.
I think that's going to be incredible. You have a DJ, or you may have a band. You may have male models there too as well. Celebrate all the different countries and the culture. Hey, going back to the Woosok, maybe have one of the players involved in it too as well, or anyone that's in the office here as well. Speaking of the Latin American, you cannot forget who leads the free world here in the city of Worcester, right? You have a Hispanic or Latino when it comes to the city manager. Is that correct? Am I pronouncing it correctly in reference to the ethnicity? Yeah. Okay. That's interesting, right? Because what if all of a sudden Worcester has Eric Batista as the city manager, and then goes back to you, having you, Hispanic, Latina, as the mayor of the city of Worcester? I think the whole state will rumble in reference to the fact that having that type of notoriety and that strength and that power here in the city of Worcester. What do you think that double ticket going forward in the future? Not to say I'm pushing you to be mayor, because you already shared with us about that, but I have to bring it up because of the fact that we'd be remiss not to mention our mayor, right? I'm sorry, our city manager.
Yes, I mean, I think that'd be ideal. Maybe not me, but ideal ticket. But yeah, I mean, when you look at the map of, because I belong to Unidos Empowers, a statewide coalition, and when we look at the map of Worcester and we look at where the Latino elected officials are, in the middle, there's nothing. And what's in the middle? Worcester, right? The second largest city with over 52,000 Latinos, which 30,000 are Puerto Ricans that can vote, right? And you have another 16,000 Brazilians. And now you have 8,000 something Dominicans, and then El Salvador, it goes in that order, right? Puerto Ricans, Brazilian, Dominicans, and then El Salvador and then Colombia. So when you look at that makeup of Latinos, and you're like, Brazilians are really making a big push in Worcester, and they're very entrepreneurial. And so we, in our organization as LABO in Asia, we have a Brazilian chapter that we're forming, but we also have a board member that is Brazilian that helps us with the Brazilian community. But to really put me out there with some ticket like that it'd be amazing, and I think it would be needed, and it would be about time. I don't believe I'm the person, but I would definitely support whoever can take on that. But when you look at Lawrence, and you look at Springfield, Holyoke, I mean, the majority of the minorities are Puerto Rican. And so you have, anywhere from superintendent to state reps to city council. So yeah, I think Worcester eventually would be at that point. I'm looking forward to that, but not me.
Okay.
I support anyone.
The 3 strikes are out, I guess. That was the 3rd time I brought it up. Okay, but going forward there.
So don't put my name. It's funny you say that, because someone said, and this was Michael Welch from Unibank. I was giving a speech, and he goes, "I'm going to write your name in the ballot."
They do that too sometimes too.
Yeah, they do.
Unannounced to the person, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you're running for office unannounced to you, like that. So once again, Elizabeth Cruz is joining me. She's the president of LABO, Latin American Business Organization. I'm Ernie Floyd. Listen to Unity Community. And LABO, once again, it's about empowering Latinos, Latinas. It's about entrepreneurship through education, networking, and business development programs, and more. So where do you go now? Seems as though that you started off with supporting the organization, supporting the culture, supporting the community, supporting entrepreneurs. And so you're right where you're supposed to be. So what's in the future for LABO, Latin American Business Organization, right here in the city of Worcester?
So what I've been, one of the things that we've been able to do, and I think makes us unique, is that we can pivot to the demands of the community, and we try to do that, which is why we have SurfSafe, classes in Spanish and Portuguese. But what they've been really demanding the community to me, and it's always on Facebook every time I post something like that, LABO needs a commissary kitchen. So we we have all these programs that we want to do. For example, the youth program that we had, which stands for, again, Youth Empowered to Lead and Launch, which is, by the way, sponsored by Worcester State University. So a big shout out to them. And we do, food safety. In fact, some of those students, we have 22 right now, 8 of them are in, they're getting the Serve Safe certification through LABO, but also we want to teach classes like that. So right now we use the economy market for our training, but they've been asking us, all the members, like, we need to have your own, because we want to be able to do some training, some healthy eating, especially when you come from different countries here. What foods can you substitute that are healthier?
Of course.
And there's a big need for that.
Yeah. Well, the young people are in good hands with you in your organization that makes up LABO. And once again, another exciting event is going to take place for LABO, which is the Business Expo. That's going to take place in April 25th from 12 to 4. Once again, and how can people get access to that? And how can people get access to LABO if they're listening to us and they're saying, something that sounds pretty exciting? Do you have to be Latina to join LABO?
Nope.
It's for everybody. Explain how it could be for everybody.
So LABO is open to everyone. We have our members from all different walks of life and different cultures. So you don't have to be Latino to join LABO or to be part of the expo. If you want to be a vendor, we still have a couple seats left, booth left. But you can go to our website, which is labous.org, and there you got a lot of information. Also, I want to mention that one of the new programs that we started this year is called Build CSL, which is construction supervisor license in Spanish, which 30% of the construction workers are Latino. And so this will give them an opportunity to be at a supervisory level and not paid hundreds of, $10,000 to get someone to get a permit for you. So this is the first time we offer this with our partner, Massachusetts Construction Academy. And the minute that we put it on Facebook, it was booked. We have a wait list of 30 people waiting. And so we're at the expo. We're going to have them there. So anybody who is in constructions want the CSL, you can go to the expo. They're going to have their own table there. Also, the hospitality person is going to be there. So we're going to have a lot of experts in the expo that people who are looking to start a business have questions about Safe certification, supply diversity, construction supervisor. They are going to be all at the expo.
Well, as you mentioned at the expo, Launch, Grow, and Protect. Elizabeth Cruz was joining me. She's the president of LABO, Latin American Business Organization, right here in the city of Worcester. We encourage everyone to go to the Business Expo, which is April 25th, between 12 to 4 on Commercial Street, downtown Worcester. Actually, it's at Foster Street, too, as well, other side of the building at DCU. Once again, joining us was Elizabeth Cruz, president of LABO. Thank you for joining me on Unity in the Community.
Thank you for having me, and everyone is welcome. So hope to see you there.
Thank you very much. Once again, I'm Ernie Floyd. You've been listening to Unity in the Community on Unity 979, Worcester's Community Connection.